Hey guys, so I was doing some research the last couple of days, and don't you guys find a little bit annoying the fact that we don't have any backlink quality checker that can, help us to evaluate the real quality of a domain that we want to acquire backlinks from, like automatically? You know, it's kind of like if you search for this, for example, and we all know that Ahrefs tend to be a little bit conservative and sometimes even pessimistic with search volume estimations, right? But it's kind of like if we search for backlink quality checker, um, we'll look at Ahrefs, for example. We can look at whatever, like for example, because these pages here, these free tools, they are ranking for backlink quality checker, right? To me, a backlink checker or backlink profile checker and backlink quality checker are completely different things, right? If I want to evaluate the quality of a backlink, I think we're talking about something that's not open for discussion. I think we can all agree on a lot of things that a backlink has to have in order to be considered good, like, having relevant traffic, and also like having a clean link profile, having a clean outgoing link profile as well. Like if you check the ratio and the relation, the semantic proximity of the domains that this website is linking to, right? If they are on niche, if they are somehow related, if they are real sources, or if they are just a bunch of casino spammy adult kind of websites. So here, for example, if we look at gascam.co, right? This is a brand from a guy I used to work with. um, so if you search for this, you just see a piece of his link profile, right? There's no quality evaluation here. Also here, same thing, HTTPS. Let's do CoinMarketCap, for example, right, which is a finance related website. Very good one, by the way, but that's the thing. It just say how many external links you have, what's the DEA, how many referring domains, how many referring IPs. It's a pretty good ratio, by the way. But it doesn't have a single qualifier. It doesn't have a single piece of processed data to show you, hey, a link from this website would be good for XYZ reasons and could not be as good because of ABC. And this is quite annoying. Like I've developed these two here, for example, because every now and then I do some sourcing for clients, right? Both from Presswiz or for some other clients that I'm working with as a fractional SEO. And I was feeling that, hey, we don't have a tool that help us to automate this task. So I've developed this. This is an HTML running locally in my computer, right? So here, for example, let me just show you guys how it works. And it's so simple. I figured why people never develop this. I don't know, maybe most of the vendors out there don't even care about quality. Like, okay, you want something in finance, okay, get this, batch of websites here without any quality checks. Um, but anyway, so this guy, for example, that asked me for the sourcing, he's a crypto broker and he focuses a lot on Bitcoin trading, right? So I went to Presswiz Marketplace. I've extracted the first 5 domains just to show you guys an example here of the finance related websites in the US. And here you can see we have the overall the broad niche, which is finance, and then we also have the sub niche, which in this case is crypto/Bitcoin, right? So what this tool is going to do, we're going to evaluate things in 2 different levels. So first off, we have the API calls to extract the top 30 ranking pages of all of these domains with their own target keywords. Then the first level of analysis is going to be, okay, if at least 30% of these top ranking keywords, which means like these are the keywords they are generating the vast majority of the traffic to these domains, right? If they are finance related, the site will be approved on the traffic relevance. Because like to me, if the traffic of the website is relevant, then it pretty much means the website is relevant, right? I don't care if you have Bitcoin the domain name, or if you have financenews.com as the domain. The website's not necessarily relevant to finance unless the traffic is relevant, right? So, okay, we're going to evaluate if at least 30% of the keywords that are generating traffic to these domains are finance related. Then if they are, the site will be approved on the relevance level, right? We're not evaluating the outgoing links. We're not evaluating their own link profiles, for example, to kind of like measure the page rank that will pass to the target website and stuff like that. But this is a very solid beginning, because this is going to show you whether the website is relevant or not, right? And then the second layer of analysis is going to be the semantic proximity, right? So as I told you, the guy that asked me for this sourcing is a crypto broker focused on Bitcoin. So what I want to do is evaluate if the keywords that are generating traffic to this website, okay, they are on finance, but are they crypto / Bitcoin related as well? And this is not a qualifier or a disqualifier, right? The sub-niche analysis is just to see if we can find the icing on the cake from a batch of domains we want to evaluate, right? So this is why it's so nice to have it, because then you can have a list of 100 sites. Let's say 30 of them are approved, but 10 of them are perfect, because they're not only on niche, they are semantically close to the exact thing that you do, right? So this is how the results look like here. It takes a couple of minutes to run it. The more domains you add, the longer it will take, of course, right? But here we have, for example, CoinMarketCap. So I can show you why, right? So we scraped these keywords. These ones are relevant. Then we have the score. So the score here is about the broad category analysis. So it says that 100% of the keywords are on niche. So if you come here, we can see the on niche keywords. So Bitcoin, crypto, right? A lot of things related to crypto, Ethereum, right? And here you can see the proximity drivers, which is what we use to measure the semantic proximity. So again, Bitcoin, crypto, right? Ethereum again. So this website, for a guy who is a crypto / Bitcoin broker, it's amazing, right? It's an amazing website to have. Of course, that we have to consider a few other things. This is something that I'm going to show you guys soon, like the other things that these two can use. Like we can evaluate the outgoing link profile to see, for example, if this website is pointing to a lot of casinos and stuff like that. There's one interesting thing about this analysis that I ran here, which is bitcoin.com, right? And it's basically blocked. So you figure, how the hell can a website called bitcoin.co be blocked if your client's on crypto / finance, right? So I'm going to show you why it happened. And then this is all for your evaluation, right? The tool tries to block anything with this kind of keywords, right? Betting, casino, bat. This is also casino, but in some sort of Arabic language or something like that. Yeah, and then here we have the proximity drivers. We have the keywords that are related to the niche, right? But we also have casino keywords ranking. So if we come here to Ahrefs, right, it's clear that bitcoin.com is a massive domain, it's a very solid DR, massive traffic profile. But then if we open here, you can see like it's a casino keyword, casino again, casino again. So casino again, right? That's the thing. For some people, I'm not saying this is my assessment, but I'm building this to not based on what I think we should look for on the backlink. I'm doing this based on what clients look for, right? If you're an SEO, if you run an agency that offers link building, or if you work directly with clients that also build links, If you ask them, okay, how should your link profile look like and everything, they're going to say that they want relevant links. And if you ask them what is relevancy to them, they're going to say, okay, the traffic has to be relevant to the category at least, right? To the category level, which is something that we address in here. And the website should be clean. Like everyone working in white hat niches, like lawyers, like doctors, like these people want to have link profiles that are as clean as possible, right? And to these people, any domain that has some sort of relation with casinos and some of relations with adult slash or other great keywords like CBD and stuff like that, it's a big red flag. So the tool flags this. It shows you, but for example, if you're operating in casino, or if you're even operating in Bitcoin, crypto overall, like to me, this is a perfectly usable website, to be honest. It's one of the best ones out there. The tool is going to flag, hey, there's casino stuff here, so it's up to you whether you go with it or not, right? So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna make this tool available to a few people very soon so they can test it out, see all the functionalities. It's going to be free, so I can receive a lot of feedback and fine tune it until we finally can have some sort of backlink quality checker like that you can do in bulk mode. It's accurate and it helps us to like just vet websites very quickly. Yeah, let me know what you guys think and see you in the next video. Cheers.